Hello everybody, this is Douglas with Other Than Intended Purpose. I picked a really rough name to try to say every time doing that, didn't I? Anyway, I'm Douglas, Jack's behind the camera, and today we have a knife for you. It's the EF918, EF918. And that makes me sad. There we go. That's still kind of sad. We're going to look at the knife and then we're going to take it apart and try to fix that. Because it came from the factory a little bit on the no-no side. I should not have to use that much wrist for a knife with this much. Although I will say that the detent on it is really good. But that should not be that hard to open. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, first look at this. Now this is G10, and I have said in the past that G10 can be a little bit on the slick side. Well, EF918 decided that could not be a true statement anymore. That thing is rough as a cob. Now, I say it's rough, and I mean it. It is rough, but it's not an uncomfortable rough. When I'm gripping it, it does not feel uncomfortable at all. It just feels like there's no way in heck that's going to move at all. It does have a little bit of milling right here, which is slick, but that's not going to be something that's overly going to affect you. And we are looking at a chonker here. We've got a 3.74 inch blade. This is D2 steel. And it's a 4.46 inch G10 handle. And it says ball bearing pivots. We're going to see if it is steel ball bearings or ceramic when we open it up. I don't have a weight on it because I don't do that. I know a lot of people say, oh, it weighs this much. I never remember to weigh it. We do have some really nice jimping here. It looks more aggressive than it is because it's rounded on the sides a little bit. But it does give you a pretty good gripping, put pressure point. And it also, because of the slope on here, I think that looks kind of like a gator. That's just my opinion. But if you're doing where the utility cuts where you want your finger forward instead of your thumb, you've got this nice area here that anywhere along here would be a good place to put your finger. Now I got big hands, so mine goes straight to the very end of it. But if you got, little bitty hands, you can go right there and you're still good. There's a little bit of a ramp up where the jimping is so that your thumb has some place to push against. All in all, for a budget knife, this is an extremely well thought out blade. And as you can see, you cannot reverse this, but it is a fairly deep pocket. Now, the screws in it are, I don't know if you can see them very well. The screws in it are rounded off fairly nicely, but they do stick up. You do have a fairly stiff spring, and if you put it in your pocket, okay, it did catch on, the paper caught on the end of the, they didn't catch on the screw, they caught on the end of the folded under part of the clip a little bit. But if you put it in your pocket, that's what you're showing to the world right there. Hold it up a little bit so you can see that. That is what you're showing. Which is not a lot of show, especially for this big of a knife. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry, Jack was asking if he could give Modi a bone.
Modi.
This is completely unrelated. Ignore the next 17 seconds. Next time you're over there, ask her where she got those because I haven't been able to find them.
Okay.
Anyway, we're going to get right into taking this apart, see if we can smoothen up that a little bit. Now, it did come from the factory fairly well centered. I have been using this as a desk knife. I have also carried it in my jacket pocket as my extra knife, and I've used it quite a bit in the last couple of weeks, and I can tell you that so far I have only had to strop it. I haven't actually had to sharpen it. And stropping it has... God dang, that really bothers me that it's that sticky. Hopefully it's just something I can fix real easily. But just stropping it, the edge has held up really nice. I've got decent sharpness out of it, and there's no blemishes on it. I've cut cardboard. I've cut rope. I cut up some plastic hose, and it's really held up to the use. I wouldn't say abuse, because I don't usually abuse things just out of hand, but now we have got screws on both sides, so I'm going to try and take it apart from the show side and see if maybe I don't have to pull the pocket clip off. Why? Because I'm lazy. Shh, I didn't say that out loud. Do we have 6s? We have 6s. And we're going to use the stubby for that because I'm not getting a good enough grip. I should probably pick up a second stubby just so I can not have to switch back and forth so much. But okay, that screw has a blue tint to it, which is kind of odd, but I like it. Odd because it's a red and black knife. Now, I know there's a lot of channels that have told you about different drivers that they've used, and Weehaw is a popular one, but there's a couple of others. I've been using this one for years. And one thing that I like about it is you've actually got bit storage in it. Now, none of the bits that are in it are small enough to take knives apart with. I could probably replace them, but I haven't. Okay, we definitely need to go up to the 8 for the pivot. It's surprisingly hard to find T6s around my house. The hardware stores and stuff around here don't tend to have them, which is frustrating as hell. I got a package of T8s off of the internet, and it should be here sometime soon. It was like 10 of them, but I really shouldn't have had to pay as much as I did for them, and it really shouldn't be that hard to get. Okay, now that's cool. That's got a washer and bearings. So with a little extra lube, we might be able to... Okay, the stop pen fell out, which isn't that surprising. And then over here we got... Oh, the washer doesn't want to come out. Pull the whole pivot out, and then it will. Thought so, didn't I? There we go. We have steel bearings. Oh, people holler at me when I pull things out and I don't say what they are. This is the Perrin Mini flashlight. It is a little bitty... Jack, here, hand me the regular Perrin too. This is a Perrin flashlight. This is a Perrin Mini flashlight. Little bitty. I like it. Okay, put that back. Jack's over being a millennial and playing on his phone.
I couldn't remember if you took a picture of the packaging for these or if I did. I was trying to find the picture of them so I can look
where's
them up.
the stanky rag? You put it on my clean clothes.
Put it at the edge on the plastic. I also don't remember when it was that we got those.
But just ask her where she got them. Because he really likes them. As crazy as he is for them, I cannot understand why her dogs didn't like them, but oh well.
More for him?
Yep. Side note, it has nothing to do with anything else. A lady that my son does some work for from time to time, her dog did not like the brand of dog bone that she got for them. And so she said, see if my dog likes them. And my dog says, oh, hell yeah. So, whew, gotta love the stinky juice. Okay, we have a round pivot. So I've got to be concerned about it spinning when I'm putting it back together. And we've got our steel bearings. You'll hear people say, oh, well, ceramic bearings are so much better than steel bearings. And they do have a tendency to be a little bit smoother. But they also can crack under heavy use. So for a user knife like this, steel is not a bad option for the bearings. And when you're talking about a 3 3/4 inch D2 steel blade, I'm assuming the people that get this are going to actually use it. Okay. Before that goes all the way in, I need to put the stop pin back, because without the stop pin it won't stop. And we like it stopping like that. Okay, I did not oil the bearings. Damn, that is stiff. I did not oil the bearings, and I did not put oil in the detent hole. Okay, these actually came from Knife Pivot Lube. I got a 10-pack of them in a drawing. They're basically reusable Q-tips. So after I'm done doing this, I will clean them and I can reuse them. Probably not forever, but a lot longer than a Q-tip. So they're not something that's 100% necessary for taking knives apart, but it's nice to, you know, not have to worry about having to throw stuff away afterwards. You're dinging. Okay. That snapped in, so that's a good sign. That went in nice and smooth, so that's a good sign. Now I am not putting Loctite on this. I will check from time to time. I will check if it starts coming loose. I will put a little Loctite on it. I have blue Loctite specifically for that purpose, but they weren't at all loose when I opened it up now, and there was none on them, so I'm going to give them the chance to do their job before I just jump straight to forcing the issue. So now I'm going to put a little bit more torque on these. When you are dealing with pivots, a 1/16 of a turn is a lot. Okay, so our lockup on this is not great. Oh, that's why. It's spinning on me. It's not tightening. Felt like it was tightening, but it was lying to me. Now we're out of center.
To all folding knife makers, having the little bit trimmed off one side so it's not spinning in place when you're trying to tighten is helpful. Either that or...
D-pivot instead of a round pivot.
Yeah, either that or have it where you can insert a tool on both sides.
Okay, this is still wanting to be loose. Well, this one you can put a tool on both sides, Jack.
It's just two of the same one?
Yeah. And it is not at all centered. I wonder if I screwed something up with the washers. Well, the washers were cupped. So I might have put one of the washers on backwards. This is where I wish I had another T8 handy. Yeah, there's some weird springy in the scale that wasn't there before. I had to have put one of the washers cupped the wrong way.
Okay.
What time is it?
11:16.
Well, that's not the problem. Stop, pen.
Come with me and you'll be in a land of pure frustration.
And see, without the stop pin, it can just keep on going. And that's not friendly. On the back side of it, the stop pin stops the blade from hitting your back screws, so you don't have to worry about chipping your blade out on your back spacers. Okay, stop it. We're going to try something a little different this time, and we're going to lightly put the pivot in first. But yes, D-pivots are much nicer. Of course, you can't argue with it too much because most knives, when you get them, say, "Do not take this apart."
Well, how are you supposed to clean it?
Send it in for $20 and they'll take it apart and clean it. You think I'm joking? There's a lot of companies that have that as a service. They'll send it. For $20, they'll clean it and sharpen it and send it back to you. Which, if you're not comfortable doing what I'm doing, that's probably not a bad thing to keep in mind. Most knife companies will do a service on the knife. Okay, now we're centered. That's what it was. I put one of it's got bearings and it's got washers on the outsides of the bearings, and the washers are cupped, and I put one of them cupped the wrong way. We're still not getting great action though. Maybe, hold on. There we go.
Over tightened?
Yeah, I had it just a wee bit tight. It's not a wee knives. It's just it's a Grow, but I had it a wee bit tight. Wee as a brand of knife, Jack.
Okay.
Okay, that action is a lot better than it was before. Oh, look how smooth that is. It just wants to be open now. And we are, I'd call that centered. So, that is the EF.
I'm gonna go check that.
Yeah, that smell isn't right.
Button is right here if you need it.
That is the EF918. Everybody have a good evening. Real quick, Zach over at Zach Stuff has started this thing. It's DSKFS. Do something kind for someone. If every day you can just say a nice word or hand something to someone that's out of their reach, just do something that makes someone smile. And hopefully they'll pass that on to the next person. You never know how bad their day's been going, how hard their mood is right now, how lonely they feel, how abandoned they feel. One simple act of kindness just might make a difference in someone's life. And it doesn't hurt. So do something kind for someone. Get out in the woods and enjoy yourself. Have a good evening. Bye. He said the button's right there. Where the hell?